Everyone's like, oh. Just letting people in. Okay, and let me connect with this one. I mean, not unless you need it. No, I mean, it's just a matter of, okay. Hi, everyone who's at home. We were having a bit of the display, the projector here at school wasn't working. So I had to get tech support in. So I haven't even said hi to anyone who's
Hi.
here yet because I've just been dealing with that. So anyway, hi there. Okay, guys, class is on. And hi, Bob. Hi, Sue. And
Hi.
hi, Barbara.
And
That's
the
who's
audio is
here.
great.
And the audio, yes, we worked on audio. We did everything. We're like, I got that set up, but now today the display wasn't working, but it was, someone had turned it off, which should never be turned off. So that was actually good. Oh. All right. And hi, everyone who's here. Let me see. Blast, Diana, Carol, Susie, Marta, Gigi, Rod, Phil, and remind me, and Maud. Okay, because Maud used to be there and Susie was over there. So Susie, have you been on this computer before? Okay, great. So then you've already let it set it up because that was the first day you came, right? Or the second day, and then you were gone. Okay. And everyone else who's on, so raise your hands if you're going to be on the school computer. Susie, Gigi, Rod, Carol, and Phil. Okay. By the way, my new computer arrived. They said it was going to be 2 weeks and it showed up. So I ran over to get it and I barely got it installed last night and I haven't done anything with it yet. Like I opened it up and it's like, yeah, I have a computer, but I haven't done anything with it yet. But yay, I have a computer. You got a Mac Mini. Give me a second because Maud is asking for help. Yeah. Uh, Wi-Fi is all you need, and you are. Yeah, so that's fine. You don't need. We'll move this over a little bit again so that we can see the what bit to like just enough to see the parts of your computer. Okay, so click on the. I mean, and then go down, scroll down, like with your no. Here, this is scrolling. That like that, up and down, scroll. And now we went too far because we've been scrolling too much. So stop for a minute. So this like that back and forth until you see Gmail. And you don't need to be looking at your bookmarks all the time unless you like to do that. Then click on that so that good. Go ahead and say get started. Looks like you haven't been here before.
Never been here.
Cool. So now close that up. They're just trying to teach you how to use it, but you don't need that. Okay. And you are on the left side. That's your Gmail. Okay, your school
I
Gmail.
didn't even know I had a Gmail.
You have a pipeline. This is your
Okay.
pipeline account. See, there's my email from you. So
Okay.
link it today. Then go to these three little dot for,
Those dots?
yep. And then go to Drive.
Drive.
And then in shared drives, you'll find the class stuff.
Shared drives?
Mhm. And you can try and double click on that.
Oh, it's shaking like.
It's okay. Got it. Okay, cool. So now double click on this. And basically, yeah, it's not your name and close that X. That little X, yeah. And that's it. Your computer's set up now. So now every time you come in, and these are the class files. So these are the recording links and stuff. Now, that means that even though they wrote it wrong, you need to get them to fix it or whatever. But with what they gave you wrong, you can get in. You just need to remember that access. Okay. Hi, guys. Hi, Barb. Nice to see you then. And Bob. So lots of people here who I'm having to admit while I was helping Maud. So there's lots of excitement going on. So I brought my bell again for when I need you guys to listen, but it's not yet. I was just demoing it. As people got in. Hi, Linda. Hi, Yolanda. Hi, Alan. All right, thanks for joining us. And I am gonna be standing a bit more like this. So, oh, and there's Jenny. Make sure to sign in and grab your name tag and everything. Good. So let me see. Looks like this one hadn't been set up. Go ahead and say not now. I thought you were somewhere in the middle. Yeah, this is Josie's computer. That's true. No, you were there. Oh, that's why, because Martha took Susie's computer. Okay. Well, as long as, but Josie's gonna need this one. No, but today you can switch because that way she has her computer all set up and running, and then you take Josie's spot. When Josie comes back, then maybe you go, there's still 2 spots that no one's claimed over there. Okay. So, but it's good to have you at a station. But yeah, there we go. I thought you weren't here, Susie. That's why I was like, no. And only because then that means you need to hear. Let me have you, we can't cancel you until you, um, here's your name tag. Can you put it on here? It's just that we're basically having to set you up as if you are, anyway, this is what's happening. So I'm gonna just, yes, you haven't signed into that one yet, right? So yeah, that one you won't have to do all this because you will have already been set. Now we're setting it up and it's like, I was trying to avoid that. No, that's all right. So guys, the reason you need to sit at the same computers that you've had, otherwise each time we start, we need to do that whole setup of the computer as if it's a new computer that we did the first day, okay? So that's why I'm trying to have you remember your and did you all remember to go write your station number on your, Phil, maybe can you find Susie's name and put her station number down as 14? Somebody who's over there. Thank you. Yeah, go ahead. Well, if you're not going to use it at all, you can, so then just say mine, my laptop or something. But yeah, don't put 14. Cross out 14. Yeah, yeah, for Susie. It's just that Martha had put 14, or put 13 next to Martha or whatever, although, so now we need to sign you out. Log out from Susie, and then here, now you can sit here. Yes. All right. Sorry about that. Thank you, guys. We just had, the computers here are set up such that when you first connect to them, it's as if they were new and you need to go through the whole setup process. So I'm having people sit at the same computers that they already sat at. And there was just a little confusion with one of them. So we had to reset that. So, okay. Everyone at home can hear me well. Everyone here can hear me well. Sound is good. Projector's good. Let's get going. Now, yes, you're cold too, right? I need to, yeah, the air is hitting me. Yeah, it just hits straight there. So let me, I just don't know. I guess I should bring it down. Up is hotter. Okay, I brought it up 2 spots. Oh, somebody brought a little box for the drinks. Thank you. Who was that? Let's do that. I think everyone's here though. Maybe Josie. Somebody who brought the nice little box for the drinks. Oh, thank you, Gigi. I've asked for it. I don't know if it's down. There were so many things had to be set up here. I don't know if they forgot that request, but I asked for a little shelf or something to be put there so drinks are not on the floor. I'm going to ask again. In fact, can somebody here who's good at emails, anyone remind me to ask for shelf for drinks? Just send me a quick email because then when I get after class, I see my emails and I go, oh, remind them about the outside the door shelf outside the door for drinks. Okay. And they set me up with a nice new little table for my computer. You know how I was battling space here before. Yeah, so it's all good. All right. Yeah, and now I can see Blast that I couldn't see him before the way we were set up. All right, life is good. Okay, so hopefully you've all been catching up using the recordings if you haven't yet used them. Then, I mean, if you missed any part of the class, you have to use them. You have to have watched them. If you're not missing any part of the class and you want to watch them, you can, but you have to if you miss some, okay? And that's not to say that you'll never have questions just because you watch the recording. No, watching the recording is just that. You still might have questions that you try it that you would have asked me, but I'm not there. It's a recording. So then even though you try it based off of the recording, it might not be working for you. So you're welcome to come and say, well, that didn't work for me or this worked for me. You know what I mean? But what I want you is to at least have watched it so you know what we've been talking about and then have questions about what didn't work for you. Okay. So the question I have for everyone now is, have you been able to access the class recordings? That's it. Not that if you watched them or not. The first homework from the first week was access the class recordings. So give me a yes if you know how to access the class recordings. And I know, Maud, that you got in today, right? But I just showed you how to get there. So if you did not access the class recordings yet, you have to access them. Oh, we need a green and red tab here for Susie. Here we go. So this is your little green or red response. Yeah, that it might work. I don't know. I'm trying to see which one's better. Maybe later the name tags will be green or red or something. I need to figure out. The name tags that I've always made that fold in the middle don't work too well now because these used to be a thin bezel. Now it's a thick one. So the whole point of the two sides is that on this side, I can see your names, but now it's not working. So I need, because they're sitting this way. So I need to, new computers, new name tags. Okay, this, I keep hitting my glass. I put my glasses on and off.
Today's.
I need to go back to the lapel one. All right. So I'm seeing yeses at school, at home. I know Yolanda, you got it. Alan, were you able to get the class recordings?
Yes.
Because I know yes, okay.
Yes, yeah.
I know the first day I sent you the first link. All right, so Susie, have you been able to watch anything while you've been gone? Okay, well then at least that's why I need to know. And then Phil, I didn't see you say yes or no. Do you know how to get to the class recordings? Okay. So everyone knows how to get there. Whether you did or not depends on whether you need it or not. That's fine. But the process is getting to them. So if everyone's clear on that, then when you need them, you'll get there. And Susie, if you need help knowing how to get there, then maybe during break, I can show you and you can get there so that you can access them. I'll say, but you need to remind me. Otherwise, I keep going. There was something I said I do during break, and I won't. Remember. So it's up to you to remind me that what I need to do is show you how to get there. What's that? Okay. So, yeah. It's watching. Remember that watching. Okay. Susie and Maud and anyone, you're all getting my email reminding you what the Zoom link is, even if you're in this in-person class, right? In that email, I have a link and I will open it right now to show you. In that email, let me share my screen. I'm gonna check in. Okay. So in that email, where's this morning's email? Zoo link. Did someone knock? It felt like someone knocked. Okay. So in this email that you are all getting every morning, I had, for those of you attending on Zoom, here's the link, but then please use this link to view a video that shows you how to access the class recordings. That comes every week. So if you have any email of mine there, while it's like, it's time to look at the class recordings and you don't remember how to, this video shows you the steps, okay? So to watch the steps, you can do that, but then you still need to do them. And if you're stuck and you can't get there, that's when I'll help you, okay? But that's the video for you to learn how to get there. It's basically, I'm showing you that you open the my SBCC, you go to Gmail, or maybe in this one, I show you to go to the class resources and then you go and click on the drive and there you are, okay? So that's the video. So you're getting this once a week, got it? Just wanted to make sure that you all knew that you had that available to you. Okay. Okay. And you were able to, you watched the video and then but by the way, you can watch the videos on your phones. So say that you're waiting for a doctor's appointment. I always say doctor's appointment. I spent so many hours of my life waiting at a doctor's appointment's office, mainly my kid's pediatrician. We'd go there and it could be an hour. Of course, by then you're taking care of kids, so that wouldn't work. But if it's one of your own and you're sitting there waiting, that's a good time to catch up on videos, right? But you can follow the same instructions and get on your phone to the video and link to it, just so you know. Okay, yes, Rod? What's that? You should have gotten one this morning, and I already saw it in your pipeline. But if you're not getting it to your personal one, then you need to see what email you're having it sent to. So no, because that would be your personal email. It's whatever email you gave the school as your email. But let's talk about that a little bit later. Yeah, whatever the school has been given as your personal email, that's the email that I send. I use the pipeline email, and whatever email you gave to the school as your email. Some people made a mistake on that one and wrote it wrong, and school has your wrong email, or you have an old email that you don't use anymore. That's the email I have for you. So I send this link to both your pipeline and your personal one. Your pipeline always has it. In fact, I just saw it on your computer on the pipeline. You just didn't know how to get to your pipeline, but there it is. And then whatever email you gave your school is your personal one. And let me show you how to do that. If you guys don't know if you're getting the right email to school, when you go to my SBCC, my.sbcc.edu. Okay, so if you guys want to check right now and you enter to get in, then there's a place here for right at the bottom, it says my information, email, DE Musakio, my K number. Okay, so everyone, right there, it's view or update personal information. If I click on view or update personal information, what? A disabled page? I told you that they just shifted to a completely new. Okay, well, so much for that. Let me see if you get through it through student resources. Okay, so someone has to tell them that that's not working. Update profile is different. Okay, someone has to tell them because they just shifted last week on Thursday. Oh, great. That's where it is, but I'm going to stop this because of course that's my personal information showing up. Last week, so they should all be up and running. So go down to your dock and open about 3 different apps. I have 4 open. I have Safari, Calendar, Contacts, and Notes. I have 4 of them open. Okay. Safari, Calendar, Contacts, and Notes. So everyone at home, Safari, Calendar, Contacts, and Notes. And I'm not teaching you how to use these apps yet. That comes later. That's another class. Right now, I'm showing you how to manage your computer. Does that make sense? Just that's all. All right. So go ahead and open also. Yeah. And all of them are set in the, hey, you've never used me before. That's fine. The work we're doing will work with that anyway. Okay. So you all have 3 or 4 apps open? Yeah. Maud, do you have 3 or 4 apps open? Okay. Well, then I want you to see them, and that's important. I do want you to see them. So if you have them minimized, click on them. If they're minimized, click on their acts. I want them to be like this, messy. I want you to see them all at once. Everyone at home, you got 4 or 5 things open? Okay. So now that we have a bunch of stuff in the way, right? What I taught you in the last 3 minutes of class last week, we're just going to review that because I just showed it and then off we went. So who remembers what I did to suddenly organize all these windows? Blas? I went over to this little green button of one of them. It doesn't care which. I hovered. I didn't click. Because if I click, what happens? it goes full screen. And if I went full screen, what do? I hit escape. Say that you do click on it, right? Say that you click on it. Okay, just hit escape, period. But when you hover over it, these choices appear, right? Just hover, just put your mouse, your finger, just hover over it. And these choices are ways to arrange all these apps that we have open. So right now, I don't have just one window that I want to move to the left or right. I have a bunch. So if I have 4, like I have, I can click on this one. If I had 3 or 2 or 1, I'm going to click on 4 and boom, they've all found their own little corner. Okay. So go ahead and do that. Let me, obvious logical question. Go ahead and
Diane, what
say,
did you click on?
yeah, but just say not now right now because we haven't set up your account, so you're okay. All right, so go and hover over this green. 1 second, I'll be with you. Hover over the green, yeah, and click on that one. Yeah. Sorry, somebody asked something at home. What was that?
What did you click on?
Okay. So I clicked on, I hovered over one of these and I clicked on, well, it needs to happen now.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to click on it. There we go. And I need to hover. Move one out of the way and you hover them. I clicked on the last one, fill and arrange. So it went into this fill and arrange mode where they're all visible to me and I can use them that way. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now,
I've never done that before. That's cool.
well, it's pretty new. It's probably for the last 6 months that this is available. What operating system do you have? Maud, what operating system do you have?
Sequoia.
No,
So I clicked on
click
that.
on that one.
'Cause that's what I tried before.
It's organizing them, but it's not making the calendar. I noticed my calendar didn't resize completely either, but that's interesting. Maybe this one, because it hasn't yet been used. Let me move this one up. Say continue. I'm just saying, I'm just guessing because that one was still in its infant mode, like infant mode, but whatever you call it. Let's see, and it's
Cause I do the same ones you did.
yeah, but you have it. It isn't doing that. It kind of moves. Huh.
No, it's-
Yeah. Well, so it's just that, well, you do have a ton of things open, so I'm wondering if it's doing its best, which was the answer. Let me go check. And it just gives you 4, yeah, and the other 2 are not there. So yours are not doing that. I was going to say basically it ignores them. That was my answer, but I don't know why it's not doing any of them. Because we all had these for a couple years, but these are new. So I'd have to go in and do a search of fill and arrange isn't working because again, since this is pretty new, no, but it's good. It's good to know that it doesn't always work. Guys, when something is new and I use the feature and it works for me, then I have to wait for it not to work for someone to look around because for everyone here and at home, it's working except for Maud. I go and do it on hers. Oh, well, you have an older system. You don't have it. She doesn't have it. Monterey doesn't have it. This just appeared in Sequoia, but not even at the beginning of Sequoia. So we've had for quite a while, but Monterey doesn't have it yet. We've had this top row where you could send something to be at the bottom or at the top or at the middle, but this one's a bit newer. And until I see someone for whom it's not working. So what's happening to Maud? She's clicking on this just like the rest of us, but her stuff is budging a little bit, but it's not turning into 4. So this is when I have to go and research. why would it not work? Next time that I figure it out, next time it comes to someone, I'll know the solution, but I don't know it yet because it hasn't happened to me yet. That's for someone it wasn't working. So let me just show you guys, because not that I need to do it in class, but things might happen when I'm not there, right? To you guys. So how do you help yourself, right? So if I'm hovering over this feature, which is called fill and arrange right there. So I will go to a website, right? And I would Google, I would search, I would say Mac OS Sequoia. You always want to first start with what version, what is it that you're using? Fill and arrange, not working, for example. And then I start reading, and now I'm going to make this bigger. If Windows timeline isn't working, try enabling displays have separate spaces, dock and window tools. So there's solutions here. Usually the one I look for, this is AI overview, might be right or wrong because it's collecting information from everywhere. I kind of like to go to the Apple discussions myself, but you need to make sure of the date, because sometimes you'll have answers from 2019. So sometimes I forgot to say 2024 is good, but I'll say 2025, for example. I'll add that because I want answers from 2025. But if there isn't that question, it looks like maybe it was there early, Windows not timing. So then I'll go ahead and I'll open that link and I'll go see. But now I don't want to spend time with you guys right now figuring it out. I'll figure it out later. But what I'm saying is you just need to give it as much of the correct information, because if you just say, fill and arrange not working. I mean, maybe there's fill and arrange in Windows or in another thing or inside of the Photoshop program or something. So you just give it some basic data of what and where it's not working. And then looks like you have some, it's the same thing that was answered before. Some kind of features that we need to turn on in the displays, have separate spaces and type, blah, blah. So I'll go look at her computer later to figure out, but that's what I'll do, right? And then we'll figure it out. And that's how you figure it out. But notice that to see it, I had to make it bigger because it was this tiny little thing in the corner. So now it's kind of out of that mode. So let me see if I took it out of that mode, if it pops it back in. Yeah, it seems to work for me. Just testing. It kind of popped it back into its mode. Now let's go ahead and grab each one of these and make them bigger again. So basically click on all four, move them around, get them out of that mode. Okay. So move them into, like, grab them and move them. Grab them and move them and make them bigger, smaller, whatever they're going to be. Okay. So we basically don't have that system working anymore. Now, what you've always been able to do for quite a while is to just move things to the right or to the left, but that takes care of 2 or 3 or 4. But when you have 5 or 6 or 7 things open, then it only deals with those 5 or 6 or 7. So now let's open a few more. So right now I have 3 or 4 open. I think I have 4 open. Let's open a couple more, but I'm having you open some that are very small programs, meaning they don't have multiple windows and stuff. Let's open a Finder window, for example. So let's click one time on the Finder icon and open a Finder window. And so here I'll bring it another Finder window. So that's one more thing that's open. Another one that might be useful, I don't even want to go to mail, but maybe messages. This is pretty much a one window thing. But see, I haven't used messages yet, so I'll just leave it in okay mode. Okay, so guys, now I have probably 6 or 7 things open. Maybe I'll try one more. Oh, the system settings. I'll open the system settings. Okay, so now I have a bunch of probably 6 or 7 things open. So as everyone open system settings, notes, reminders, calendars, and let me see. I'm seeing 3 open, 4 open. So keep opening some while you have something else there. So keep going. It doesn't matter to count. Just keep. Okay. And remember, and I keep seeing this when I go to people's computers. One thing I want to beg you, listen to me. Look at my screen. This is for everyone. Every time I approach someone's computer, when something needs to get gotten out of the way, I see people doing this. And I talked about it last week, and I will talk about it every day until I get you guys to stop doing that. Why? because you're pushing everything that's necessary out of the way. Later, you might do this and you go, well, I don't see it. I don't see it. How many times do I go to computers who don't see it? Why? Because maybe you don't have the whole thing in your screen, right? Or I'll have the Finder window there and people will be like, well, maybe it'll be like that. And people will be like, well, I don't see the column. I don't see the sidebar. I don't see it. Well, because you hit it, you moved it over. Does that make sense? Push it in. So what did I say that you had to do? See how the sides of my computer are pretty much full? Well, this is a Zoom thing that I'm trying to hide because I need to hide it. So all I need is that button to clean people's answers. So this is purposeful. Like I'm purposely putting that on the side. You guys at home don't see the Zoom thing I'm pointing to. People here are seeing it. But see how the rest of my programs are within my Finder window? How did I teach you that if I want to move something up to see the bottom, say that I was telling you, go to your system settings right now. Yeah, either if you see it, which I happen to see it, I click on it. But if I don't know which one of these windows it is, I just go down here and I click on system settings and it pops up. Or my notes and it pops up, and my calendar and it pops up. Does that make sense? And yes, it's a bit of a mess because everything is there. I'm about to show you something new about this. So that's why I'm making you guys mess up your screen. I'm not seeing enough messy stuff on your screen, Susie. I need like 6 or 7. So let's keep opening. Go ahead and open. You have 3 things. Go open your notes. Good. Go open your, what else had we said? Go open the system settings. Right there. That's 4 or 5 things. Okay. So I want messy, messy, messy screens because we're about to do one more thing. Now, this thing that I'm about to do, if you are new to computers and you're already confused, you might want to go, I've learned enough about this already. Thank you. Just for like the next 10 minutes. If you want to watch and go, oh, that's cool, but I'm not even going to try it right now, you're welcome to do that as well. But some people that I show this to feel like it's like the coming of, you know, the Messiah, the best thing since sliced bread, you know, those kind of things. And they take to it like, like a leech. They love it. So I'm going to show it and you guys might love it or hate it. And if it's like one more thing I don't need, then just don't absorb it. Just know it's there for later. You'll try it later. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So there's this thing called the Stage Manager. When I show it, some people love it, some people hate it. It's something that came to the Mac via the iPad. So some of you who already have an iPad, you might be using it, you might be accustomed to it, or you might not even know. Turns out that people who bought iPads were expecting it to work like a computer. Well, computers and iPads are different things, but they are selling an iPad Pro that is pretty powerful and that can actually handle files, and it can work as a very simple laptop. If you're going to visit a client and you just want to show them some stuff, you don't come in with a bunch of computers. You just bring in your iPad, has an amazing screen, you demo some stuff, right? So there's some, or you're traveling and you don't want to take your whole computer and you take this really big. So the problem was, you know how on the phone, you can only see one thing at a time. You flip, you see your, whatever you're looking at. Then you have to open and you flip, you see another thing. The iPad worked that way. You can only see one thing at a time. So they put this thing called a Stage Manager so you could see more than one thing at a time on an iPad. Some people grew so accustomed to it that they begged for it to be put onto the laptop. So they put it, laptop, desktop, on the OS. So it's there for us to turn that feature on if we like it. And it happens to work with this whole organizing of multiple windows. So if you like it, you're welcome to use it. If you don't, just watch, okay? We're going to go to our system settings. And guess what, Jenny? It's not going to work for you. It's not a Monterey thing. This happened. Julie isn't here today. She has Ventura, but I think she went Ventura already. I think in Ventura, in case you're watching, Julie, when you watch the recording, I think Ventura, can't remember if Ventura had it. I think Ventura already had the possibility. Okay. So let's go to our system settings, pop it to the front. And if you don't know where it is, click on it on your dock so it pops up to the top. Okay. Now, I need to remember 1 second, I believe. Let me just stop for a second because it was not accessibility. It was not under appearance. It wasn't general. I'm having a desktop and dock. There it is, under desktop and dock. Thank you. Phew. Under desktop and dock. Okay, head over to desktop and dock and then just watch me. So click on desktop and dock and then watch me. Okay. So in desktop and dock, I'm going to do some other stuff that the dock can do and the desktop can do. But since we're talking Windows and what we've been doing is trying to organize Windows, you can see how many options I've been giving you to organize Windows. Guess what? Just knowing one is enough, right? If as long as you do one and you don't hide things, then that's a good one. Now, when you go to desktop and dock, as you start scrolling down, you'll see that one of the choices is desktop and stage manager. You see that? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and not at the top, not in the middle, just don't do it. Just watch. This is not a do, this is a watch to see how it works first. Because if you do it, my whole screen is about to shift. So just watch for it for a second, even if you want to try it. Just give it a 30 seconds before you try it, or 3 minutes until I explain the whole thing. So I'm going to turn this one, the one that says Stage Manager, I'm going to turn it on. Click. So with Stage Manager, so this is the first time ever. So I'll say turn on. After that, you just click it and it turns on. So turn on Stage Manager. Whoa, did my screen change or what? Let me move this out of the way. You guys at home don't see it, but it's my Zoom thing. Put it over there. Okay. So now that I turned on the Stage Manager, all those windows that I had open have set themselves to the right side. Now, here's the thing. Some of you guys have your dock on the left side. I know Yolanda does. I know Marta does. So now this is a bit of a problem, right? Because the dock for most people is at the bottom, but for some people it's up here on the side. And let me show you what I mean. And not that I'm asking you to do that, but just so you see what I'm talking about. Some people have their dock right there. So then the Stage Manager went over to the right, but a lot of people have stuff on their desktop on the right. So this is why on a Mac version, I'm always saying don't have things on your desktop, right? But anyway, so right now, this is the, I forgot to turn something. This is how, so you can show your items in the Stage Manager on your desktop or not. If I show them, then I still have them there. And then this is a problem because then if I'm left or right. So I'm showing you the problems before showing you the issues. It's just that I know there's 2 people in class that have their stuff. So the solution around that is to not show your desktop items when you're in Stage Manager and to see them through the Finder window. So that's just, I'm just saying that. Okay. So now I showed you how to turn it on and what the problems are for 2 people in our class, but for the rest of you guys, it's going to look like this. You're going to have, and I'm going to move the Zoom stuff out of the way for a second. Okay. So how does this work? Everything that's open gets not minimized in a way, but it gets scooched over here. And now I'm ready to use the calendar. I click on the calendar. So the system settings disappeared and the calendar is working. Now I click on the notes. So the notes comes up and the calendar's down here. See what I mean? It allows only 1 at a time, which is great if what you want is 1 at a time. Now, some people want 2 at a time. Well, sorry, out of luck. The Stage Manager allows 1 at a time. Does that make sense? But for those of you who've had an issue with all this stuff and where does it go and where doesn't it go and hiding, well, there they are. Now I want my Finder window. Here's my Finder window. Now I want my system preferences again. Here they come. Okay. Now, when you don't want the Stage Manager, it's as simple as going to your system preferences and turning it off. And we're back to having a good old mess of things and doing it the way we've been doing it for the last 3 days. So it's just on or off. The first time you turn it on, it'll say, hey, are you sure you want to use it? And then after that, that's all you need to do. Desktop, Stage Manager. Yes. You mean if I want to just go ahead and say hide others? There's no way to get rid, at most you can hide things, but to close things, you really need to right click, quit, right click, quit, right click, quit. You need to close each program because they might have different needs. One might say you have something that's not saved. You might have, each program has to be closed at once, individually. I'm sorry, you can't like close all the apps, but it can be really quick. If you do the shortcut Command Q, which I showed you last time, look how quick it can be. I can do Command Q. That closed that one. Command Q, Command Q. The next one that comes up, sorry. Command Q. The next one comes up. Command Q. Command Q. Command Q. And Command Q. I just closed everything really quickly. You know what I mean? If you use that's why I like shortcuts. But you could have also found this bottom here. And so I'm going to turn them all on again. And let me turn that on again. And maps and this one and this one and this one. And system preferences. So now I have 5 things open again. I can just go over here and go right click, quit, right click, quit. I mean, it's not like it's going to take you that long, right? Now the maps has never been set up. So it's asking me to, oh, this is the maps feature, which every time it has something new in the new update, it'll tell you what's the new thing, right? So now you can look for hikes and stuff, and it's pretty cool. So here's the map. So now I'm going to Command Q, Command Q, Command Q, etc. And they just kind of keep popping up. Command Q, Command Q, Command Q. All I'm doing is Command Q. Okay. And I've closed everything in like less than 5 seconds. So the shortcuts are useful. The problem with the shortcuts is you need to be aware what program is up and running. So once again, I'm opening 5 or 6 of them. It's so easy as much as I'm opening them all up right now. When you go and use Command Q, what will close is that app whose name is by the Apple. So you have to keep an eye on that. So if I now turn off
That's crazy.
desktop and dock and I turn off the stage manager and I'm back to this, then if I just do Command Q, Command Q, Command Q, the next one that will pop up is the next one, right? So if I do and say Command Q right now, what's it going to quit?
The one on top?
System settings. So I'm going to do that. Command Q, system settings. And then the next one that came up is map. So I'm going to go Command Q, Command Q, Command Q, Command Q, Command Q, Command Q, Command Q. Boom. I've just closed everything. So depending, because the next one pops up, Command Q again, the next one pops up, Command Q. So close, what? That's quitting.
Okay, system settings was under.
So what I'm saying
Underneath.
is closing a window is Command W, just in case you just want a window of a program. But that's for people, a few of you who want a lot of shortcuts. That's it. If you don't want shortcuts, close your ears to that one. If you want windows closed, it's Command W. But if you want programs quit, it's Command Q for quit. Now, I'm going to open a bunch again. And now I want you guys to do this. Try the stage manager that I told you not to try yet. Go ahead and turn on the stage manager, which is basically you go to the desktop and dock and you turn on the stage manager feature and you'll see all your stuff go whoop to the left. And let's give that a try.
Says show items on desktop.
Yeah, if you had, because I don't mind because they're on the left, but since you had stuff on the right, if you had desktop items right now, they'd be in the way.
Right.
So turn that on and they're there, but you're hiding them.
Oh,
So by saying don't show them, then how do you see them? As you go to the Finder window and you see what's on your desktop. Does that make sense? All right. How's it going? Yes. Not that one. Keep going down. Yeah, that one's fine. Keep scrolling down a little bit more. It's the next choice. Oh, no. You're in desktop and dock. So going down, scrolling is this. Okay. So scroll down and turn on the stage manager. Yeah, so it's the second, it's the second choice. Let me make a circle here. It's the second, there's this one is the one that needs to be turned on. This one is just so that you keep seeing your desktop items here. let me show you. If this is on, off, I don't see my desktop items. If I see them in Stage Manager, I see them. This is the one that we need to turn on. Okay, so I would say turn on both unless you are Yolanda or Marta. No, because that stays, this one, once you turn it on, you never need to do it anymore. So it's only this from now on. That's just a choice. The top one is just a choice that you make once and that's it. So now the only thing that you need to ever do is turn on. Now, people who love the Stage Manager, they're not going to turn it on and on and on and off. They're going to leave it on, right? I'm just saying, like, that's the feature that you use and that's how you use your computer. If you become someone who at some point needs to see two things at a time, then your only solution to see two things at a time would be to turn it off. So go and now scroll a bit down a bit more. Yeah, that's your Stage Manager choice. So let me explain one more time, the top one. For other, unless you're Marta or Yolanda, you should keep it on. Watch again what this one is, because since I've responded 5 times in person, let me tell everyone what this is. Watch my desktop items. They're sitting out there, right? If I have this turned off, see when I turn on Stage Manager, they disappear. If they haven't disappeared, if I open a Finder window, I'll click on desktop and there they are, right? But I'm not seeing them. So that's all that's happening. So if I want to see them, I turn it off. Now, why do I say not Marta or Yolanda? It's because they have their dock on the left. So if they put their Stage Managers on the right, they're going to be overlapping and that's a problem. So only for them should this be off. But for everyone else, it can be on. And then that's it. You make that choice and you forget about it. Like you don't ever change that again. And the Sage Manager, if you like what it does, you can operate your computer from there and never have a mess of windows again. And that's it. And it's no issue anymore. But if you ever want to use more than one window, Stage Manager doesn't work. It's a solution with a limit. But you might get someone showing you their computer. They sure you might use my computer because you need to get your email and you're far from home. And you're like, what's happening here? That's a Stage Manager. If you never use it, now you've seen it. If you like it, keep it and play with it. If you don't like it, turn it off and it turns off. And you're back to having your windows that you have to manage individually. That's all that is. It's supposed to be helpful. And for a lot of people who are accustomed to using it, it's like, finally my computer looks like what I'm accustomed to. For people who have never used it, you might want to or not use it. Your choice.
I don't like it.
Maybe that's a bit, maybe you have something set up with your display that's a bit strange.
It went all the way off.
I'm wondering if you have your desktop. Do you have your display not showing?
I am not.
Oh, you have it on larger text. Let me go to default for a second.
That was nice. You made those smaller.
Well, I did. It's just that you had it on this, which made it, you're changing the resolution so that your stuff is not fitting in your screen.
Oh, whatever.
Here's, yeah. So now let me go to your desktop and dock. And now there's
Oh,
still,
way over there, eh?
Hmm.
no, it's just, but what I'm noticing is that in the background, the stuff is working. The location of stuff, like that 4 thing was let me just start from 0. Need to see what. Let me start again. No, it's okay. Let's just start one by one on certain things. I'm gonna quit your passwords anyway.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, so on desktop, notification large, bottom. Regular display. If I open a basic Finder window, I should see it. If I open, so I should see it. Let me open maps, calendar. Okay, So now you have 4 or 5 things open.
Yeah.
Let's see if this still works. It doesn't, it's working.
It's working now.
So that's interesting.
Really weird. Maybe
Um,
it's me.
I don't know. So now I'm moving things around again. So they're out, you know, they're one on top of each other. And let's see the stage manager. Now it's working. I think it was your default resolution was so big that the stuff was not fitting. It was going off
Thank
screen.
you so much.
Yeah.
I won't touch it.
I think her display, she had this larger text. She had changed her resolution. So everything, nothing was fitting, but I didn't know that not fitting. Yeah, so let me try it on again. No, now it's working even though I changed it. I'm going to go back to your display can be whatever size you want. You could have it somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, that's
That's
fine.
good for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So, but there, I did that and it worked. So I'm not sure, but I just closed everything and I just closed everything and started again and it's working. Okay. Is everyone gone? You're welcome. Are we near break time that people are walking out on me? Yeah, I think a break time is at 2:30. What time? Yeah, I think break time is usually at 2:30. Let me see. Yeah, I have it at 2:30, so we're not there yet. A few more minutes. Okay. What's that? Oh, no, they're coming in. Okay. So, at home, did that work for you, everyone? The stage manager, turning it on, turning it off? Yeah, I have you guys on this other screen right now. Yeah, so again, if you find that you never need more than one thing, you might be like, so no one at home is saying yes or no. So go ahead and give me a yes if you've tried it and it works. Now, if you want to continue with the class and you want to continue with it there, just know it'll look a little bit different on my screen because I'm going to turn it off to continue with the class. But I'm kind of done. That was it for showing you how to handle apps. Now we're going to move on to something else. So now on, if you want to be able to work with it on because it felt really comfortable for you, try it during class because then if it stops working, you can ask me. Like if it's something new, it's a good time to ask me to try it during the class time if on your computers and then see what's happening with it. And then you go, you know what, I'd rather not, I'd rather yes, but then I'm still here to handle any issues that come up. Like just now with Maud, it wasn't working and I fixed it on hers. Yes, Diana? Yeah. So that's it. So if you want 2 things, what's the solution, guys? How do you turn it off? How do you turn it off? The steps are open the system settings, go to desktop and dock. 3, turn off stage manager. So it's 3 steps. So if you think you're often going to want to do more than 2 things, then maybe it's not the feature for you. If you like the simplicity of having one thing at a time, then this is for you. You know what I mean? Because it takes a bit to turn it on and off. It's not like there's a quick little on and off. Actually, hold on. As I'm saying that, no, there's yeah, I'm going to show you the shortcut. I forgot. There is a shortcut to turn it on and off. So if you guys, we have 5 more minutes before break. Let me show you the shortcut to turn it on and off. Okay. So it's on right now. Can you tell? Because I have the things on the side. By the way, at home, only Sue answered. So you guys are getting kind of lazy on the answering, but I'm going to clear your feedback at home so that now the next time I ask you if it's working, it's going to be about this shortcut. So let me first clear that little pink drawing. Okay. So my stage manager is on right now. And what if I have this not be my main program? It's not even available, right? So basically, I'm going to click on the desktop. So what's up is the desktop. So everything that I have is there. So the desktop is an app. By clicking on it, right? Then everything else is out of the way. Does that make sense? So now I see my desktop. So now I'm like, I just want to open 2 Finder windows for some reason or another, or I want to open Safari and a Finder, whatever. For whatever reason you want to use 2 things at the same time. I'm going to teach you much more about this feature. I'm going to just show it. Oh, here comes Julie. I'm showing you this without teaching you all the features of the control panel. We're about to open the control panel. It has many features, but I'm not going to teach them all to you. I'm just going to teach you how to turn the Stage Manager on and off, okay? So the Stage Manager has to be on. First of all, you need to make sure that you have it on, it's a setting on. So make sure it's on. So your stuff has to be kind of hiding over there. Hi, Julie. Thanks for joining us. I was just talking about you. I was saying that I wasn't sure if you had the Stage Manager option on Ventura. I think that's when it appeared. Do you remember? In system settings, if you go to desktop and dock and you scroll down, there's a choice of desktop and Stage Manager. And I think Ventura has it, but I wasn't 100% sure. And I showed it, I believe, only once in class, in a class that you were in, so you might not remember. So check in on that and tell me if it's there. Okay, so now guys, here we go. What's the control panel? At the top of the menu bar, way at the top of the screen, there's a menu bar. It's the Apple menu bar. And at the top right, you see the date and the time. And right next to the date and the time, you see these two little like slider buttons. It's the slider buttons that turn on and off. You see that tiny little icon? That's the control panel. Again, something that came from the phone and the iPad. And I actually like this one. You click on that and there's features you turn it on and off from here. And one of them is a Stage Manager. So you can just click on the Stage Manager to turn it off. Click on Stage Manager to turn it on. Now I'm going to turn Stage Manager off from the system settings and I'm going to go over here to try to use it and turn it on and turn it off. So it doesn't need to be on to start with. It can be on or off. Okay. So I go to this little icon, click on it, and then the Stage Manager is off. There's no color on it. I turn it on. Everything disappears. I don't want it. I turn it off. Okay. When I click away, that'll go away again. That only stays on when I'm using it, and I have to go back to it now to turn it off. And then I use my computer, and then when I'm ready to go back to it, I turn it on, turn it off from there. Screen mirroring is just me because I'm mirroring my screens. I have two screens here. Okay, at home, did that work? And here, did that work? Give me a big old yes if it worked. Give me a no. If it's not working, Monterey, it won't work. Okay, great. Let me see.
I couldn't
fine.
follow.
Thank you. Yeah, the problem is that you're not seeing it right there. Click on that little icon, the little two sliders. Yeah. And then Stage Manager on and off. Off and on. Click again. Okay. So someone at home said something. Who was that?
It might be me.
Okay.
Yolanda.
I heard a male voice, but Yolanda, if it's your question, go for it.
Yeah. You just mentioned me and another one that ours are turned off, but
Yeah.
I see mine with a check mark on the.
So here's what's happening with you and Marta here. You guys, watch my screen for a minute. You guys have your dock positioned on the left. So this is just for people who are interested in knowing, like Phil or Bob. But for people who are doing this, it's only Marta and Yolanda, that their dock is on the left side of the screen. For some reason, that happened at the beginning. You got to custom it. That's where you have it now. It would be very hard to switch. Well, the problem is that when you turn on the Stage Manager, then your windows go to the right. And as long as you have stuff on your desktop, see how they are overlapping and hiding? See how this, it automatically knows that your dog is there. So this is the Stage Manager happening over here and over here and over here. But if I need that file that's there, it's overlapping, it's hiding. And so if that is just what's happening to you and Marta, you can choose to turn off this little icon that I had everyone else turn on. That way there's nothing there that's hiding. So then where did your desktop items go? First of all, you're learning Mac level 1 to have almost nothing, if any. But what you need to do is you open a Finder window and then you click on the word desktop and there's all the stuff that's on your desktop. Okay. So this is one extra step. So this is only for Yolanda and Marta. The rest of you, I don't want you to get a bit more confused. Either that or just don't use a stage manager, right? That's plan B always, is to just not use
When
it.
you say don't use it, but I have not been using it until today when you mentioned all of this that I
Yeah.
want to
So-
look. So I saw that there's a check mark under in Stage Manager,
Yeah.
under desktop and Stage Manager, and I didn't even know what it
Well, because I have only shown it, I believe once I think I showed it this summer. It's the first time I've shown it. Maybe I showed it in the spring class as well. But
So I
it's
can
a
just leave-
relatively new feature. Okay,
I can just leave it alone then.
just leave it alone. Don't use it, especially in your case where there's already enough going on. And I know you have desktop stuff and you have your doc on the side. Just ignore it. Okay,
Thank you.
literally, you and Marta can just ignore it or know what the workaround is. Okay, let's take our break. We're gonna keep working with stuff, but it's time for everyone to take a little break. Let me stop. So what's the time? Somebody, can you figure out 15 minutes for me? Oh, it's
2:45.
2:30. That's so easy. Okay, so
2:45.
be back at 2:45 p.m. Many times I do things like 1:37 and it's like, okay, I'm gonna hide you guys and I'll see you guys in 15.
Can't hear you, Diana.
All right, can you hear me now? Thank you for
Yes.
reminding me. Last time I forgot to take my microphone off during break and it was kind of weird. You know, I use the restroom. No, I remembered in the restroom to turn it off, but what if I hadn't? So I figured I'd just take it off this time. No, it's weird too, because, not anything against my students, but I have people walking into the bathroom and asking me questions around across the stall and I'm like, okay. So I took it off this time. So thank you for reminding me that you couldn't hear me. Okay, that's like a 24/7 access. Anyway,
Hey, Diana,
yeah.
I bought one of those Wacom Intuos Pro
All right.
tablets. Yeah,
Huh. Nice. Are you liking it?
yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. Yeah,
Yeah, it takes a little bit. You like the
Yeah.
first time you try to park looking at your mirror going backwards, like,
yeah,
and after a while you figure it out. At first it's a bit weird because it's a pen. What do you mean?
Yeah,
Not a
right.
mouse, not a that. But once you get it, it's like, oh, how did I ever use anything different?
yeah. Thanks for mentioning it. Wow,
What's that?
I'm really glad I got it.
Wacom pen, I talked about the graphic tablet, which is a pencil. It's like a stylus, it's called, but it's like a pen that you use on a mouse pad instead of a mouse or a touchpad. And I talk about it and I demo it in my graphics design classes and Photoshop and things like that. But I still have the name of it written up there. Yeah, in the board, in the whiteboard. All right, tell me how it goes and if you have questions about it, Bob.
Yeah, I
that-
will. Great.
Good news. And I have my new computer arrived.
Yeah,
So-
great. Yeah,
I just didn't get a chance to do much with it because it got here yesterday and I set it up and that's about it. So I need to play with it still, but
we'll have a show and tell day.
got a new baby. Oh, someone was asking me what you got. I got a Mac Mini. A Mac Mini M4 Plus, I think they're called, or what's that?
Diane, how is that
The
different
Advantage,
a MacBook Pro?
a laptop versus a desktop, and the laptop's monitor is reduced, and I want a big monitor for mine because I do my graphics and my art on it, and I want it to be on a big monitor, so a desktop goes with that. And the last one I had was one of these iMacs. These are iMacs that are all in one. But then when it dies, you can't use its monitor anymore. On a Mac Mini, you have to buy a monitor to go with it. And I have another monitor that's okay. And then I'm going to buy a nice monitor for it. So I haven't done that yet right now. And it probably won't happen for a while. Probably going to keep the monitor I have. What's up? It's a box this big. It's this big and that high. That's my entire computer.
Oh, I have one of those plugged into my TV.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
I
No,
haven't used it in a
someone
while.
mentioned that it could be an Apple TV box, which is different than a Mac Mini. Someone here mentioned that. Or Bob, or one of you guys said that. Oh, maybe it's an Apple TV. Yeah. Oh, is that deal still going that you used to tell people about? That bank? Is that bank deal that you used to tell people about still going? Wasn't it you? A credit card? It wasn't you? Okay, then you're looking at me with that face. There was someone who used to come to my classes a long time ago, who used to have a credit card that they would buy it with, or a bank account that they would buy it with. It was you. You still do it.
I did it this time around only because I went to the Mac Mini
Mhm.
based on what my son got.
Yeah,
$600,
yeah,
and I've got a rocket ship sitting.
yeah, yeah.
I really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's the latest Mac Mini that they've made are really powerful and cheap. The base one is $600. I gooped it up and I spent more, but it's very cheap, which is going to allow me to get a really nice monitor. And then when I change my computer, I'll still have my really nice monitor. So yeah. But you can buy also another $100 monitor if you want. I just happen to want a really nice one. Because I'm gonna do that to save money from the studio I was gonna buy, which is very expensive. I was gonna spend a lot of money on that. And I've had to do it for years. And literally my computer's been dying for the last few years. And I've been like, I'll get another one, I'll get another one. And then I finally said, you know what? I'm not gonna spend on that huge computer. I'm gonna buy this really powerful little Mac Mini. I did soup it up a bit. And then I'm gonna get instead a really nice monitor. What's up? Oh God, my son is editing movies with it. My son is a film editor and he's editing full-on movies with his little Mac Mini. These things are really powerful. So I was reading an article the other day, someone saying that Apple kind of shot themselves in the foot. They made these Mac Minis so powerful that a lot of people are doing what I'm doing. They're not choosing to buy the next level, which is just a studio, which immediately you're at the $2,000 plus when you start souping it up level. They're just jumping down. They're just hogging all these Mac Minis because they are so powerful, and they're not bothering because they haven't updated their studios for 2 years. And so instead of buying a computer that's basically 2 years old, they're getting Mac Minis, which is what I did. So yeah, they're really powerful. And I only did it because my son is editing videos with it. And I thought, okay, if he can edit videos with it, I can edit photos with it. So yeah. Anyway, you have to buy your own monitor. It's your own. It's the only Mac that you have to, well, no, all the professional ones you have to buy your own. A studio is more of a professional Mac that none of you would ever need to buy, unless you're professionally into editing photos and videos. It's really souped up applications. Okay. All right, let's continue. I will tell you more about Mac Mini once I start using it, but I literally just connected it and did all the setup, and that's where I left it. So I have work to do on it.
Deanna,
Yes.
sorry. Are we supposed to still have all these apps open on our desktop?
We're gonna work on that right now. I'm gonna share my screen. Enough with the chit chat. And here we go. So here we have between last week and this week, I've shown you many different ways to work with a bunch of apps without actually showing you how to use the apps at all, but with material that's on your screen. So now I want to show you a few more things, but we don't need these apps to stay on. But if we just hide them, they're going to keep running. So what do we do now to get rid of them?
You quit them.
You can either quit them, then practice. Some of you guys who want to practice the Command Q, go ahead and Command Q to quit them, but they need to be running first, right? So you need to see colors to quit them, or you can go down to the dock and get rid of them that way. So I'm going to go down to my dock and quit it this way. But I can also just say Command Q and Command Q and Command Q. Oh, don't want to cancel Zoom, that's for sure. What's that? You can't quit the Finder ever. Good question. And that was a question asked when you weren't here. So that's a good one. Ow. Oh, fly just flew up to my. Okay. So once you have quit everything, let's go ahead and open the system settings again. And again, this class is a lot about system settings. And I haven't asked you today yet about the ongoing homework. The ongoing homework that you all had to find out is whether you can open your iCloud.com from a separate computer that's not yours. Anyone else who has tried that? All right, Maud, you tried that. Wonderful. Anyone else who's at the library, you're able to go into iCloud.com. Great, good. All right, so everyone at home, give me a yes if you have it at home in here. Give me a yes if you have tried to use the computer. If you have gone to iCloud.com at a computer that's not yours. And if it's a yes, give me a green. If it's a no, show me a red. So Rod, I'm seeing a red. Is that your answer? Okay, so Jenny And Rod and Susie, it's not staying. You can just lift it up like with your hand or something. You haven't done it yet. Diana, have you done it? No. So give me some no's, you guys. I want to see where we're at. Now remember, this is a homework that is mainly yours. It's like you're paying insurance, and then your house comes down and you discover your insurance doesn't work. Not a good idea. Find out before you need it. Okay? Find out before you need it. So I'm going to just keep reminding you to go and try it out on a different. Now, someone the other day said, how about if I tried on a different browser? As long as it's a browser that doesn't know how to access your passwords, that would work. But many times people have all of their browsers connected to their passwords. So if you know that you just walk into it easily without typing your own password in, then that doesn't count. As long as you have to type your password in, it would count, right? So for people, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, different browsers, I don't want to complicate your life. Just letting you know that that's another way. Or go to the library where you have wonderful people like Phil and Bob and tell them, my teacher said I have to get into mycloud.com and do it. Okay. App or program is fine. We call them apps now. But it's also, you have to say continue. It's like asking you to do something. Now you can close it. So whenever the computer's, and then you're using the red one. So don't use the red one. Yeah. So remember, if something says continue, next, go on, yes, okay, cancel, any of those options. If there's a button waiting for you to respond to it, you can't continue and you can't quit a program. So you need to respond. Remember my computer saying, no, 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 can't continue until you do this. That's basically what the computer's saying. Okay. All right, so now let me share just my system set. No, I'm gonna not do just, I'm gonna do the whole thing. Okay, so here we go. Open up your system settings again. And this one is gonna work for you, Jenny. So this is good for older systems and newer systems. Okay, so again, that is something we did cover before. I'm gonna just, no, but listen, Susie, I'm gonna show it really quickly and then for in-depth, go to the recording. But here on the left side, we have a general choice. And inside we have more details. So like under general, we'll have about software, whatever. Under accessibility, we'll have voiceover, Zoom, text. Under appearance, we'll have da-da-da-da, right? So it's like you open a book and these are all its chapters, so to say. But then when you say, now I want to know about storage, you click on storage and then this whole window changes. It's not like a third column, right? So this is, I demoed people doing that on their phones and on their iPads. And so that was towards the end of last week. So if you look at last week's recording, towards the end of it, we talked about that a bit. All right. So now let's head back to desktop and dock, which is where we had left it, where we had found the stage manager. And at the very top of desktop and dock, we actually have questions about how the dock is going to behave. So click on desktop and dock and start at the very top. Now, in your case, Jenny, you're going to go to dock and menu bar. There we go. Okay. It's a little bit different on Jenny's computer. Okay. So in here at the top, it says size. So what size? It's talking about, look at my dock. I can make my dock small or my dock large. See that? It's sizes of my dock. I can choose what size I want my dock to be. Okay. So go ahead and move that in and out. I am teaching, so I'm going to have it large. In my real life, I have it quite a bit smaller because, you know, it occupies real estate on a little computer. You don't need it to be so big as long as you can see the icons. All these apps, you just bought that computer, right? These are there, but some of those apps you need to pay subscriptions to. Like if you buy music, you can listen only to their, you have to set up, yeah, news. You can watch some news is free and the rest you have to pay for. So it's like it, yeah. Yeah. And the question about the dock is, do you need all those things if you're not going to use them? So we're going to talk about how to get things on and off the dock. But anyway, right now, I'm going to leave it big again because I'm teaching. I need to see these icons big. But let me show you for a second. Okay, look at your neighbors, see if it's working for everyone. And if it's working for everyone, then just look back at me. Okay. Now I'm going to make it a bit smaller now. Later I'll have it big, but see how tiny I've made mine right now? So one option is I can have it smaller as long as I see it enough to recognize them. But then when I hover over them, the name of each app appears. So that's one thing. Or watch, I go ahead and make it magnify. So I'm going to go ahead and make it really large, which I normally would. I'm going to go really large. So watch. When I touch the dock, it kind of magnifies. So now I don't need to have it that big, but I can have it be about, yeah, there's a fly bugging those of us who are up front. So you can choose how much you want it to magnify so you can see it better. So this is kind of how I have mine. I have it relatively small to get it out of the way when I don't want it, but then I give it some magnification. No, that control center is the size it is. The button, no, that one lives there or does, that's untouchable. What this, yeah, it's a slide, you can, if you click on it, you have to click and drag to carry it, or you can just click here and it runs up to you. Click here. Oh my God, there's a fly that's been bugging blasting me. It's like it doesn't, Anyway, so you can click and then it runs, but when you can have it off, so there's no magnification, or you can jump to the small and it's just nothing. And then as soon as you start making it bigger, it's just a little bit of magnification, or really large, and then it's phew, right? So your choice. I'm gonna go somewhere in there. Now I'm gonna make my dock anyway bigger because I'm teaching the dock and I want you guys to all be able to see what I'm teaching. But at home, that's how I have my dock. I have it smaller because it's, you know, 1/4 of an inch versus a whole inch taken off of my screen. If you have a small screen, that's real estate space that you don't want used up by the dock. On the other hand, we want the dock to have the things that we need and use and not everything that comes with it. So we're going to talk about that next. But how about there at home, you guys? Let me clean your answers. Have you all been able to modify the size of your dock and the magnification of your dock? The next thing is the position on screen. I don't recommend moving it off the bottom, but if you want to, you could do what Marta and Yolanda have done. If for any reason that makes sense to you, way you work in your body and how you're accustomed to it, go for it. But if you don't and you leave it at the bottom, it's better because Mac assumes you have it at the bottom. So then it does these things like, you know, Stage Manager that make the assumption that it's down there. Also, all of your files on the Mac end up on the desktop, end up filing to the right. So if you go ahead and say, make it on the right, then you start having your dock be in trouble. Oh, it goes onto that screen for me. Then you have it be in trouble with all your desktop items, which then you can change for your desktop. So you have to change everything, just go with it at the bottom kind of thing. But is it flexible? Yeah. On the Mac, you can pretty much make it do whatever you want it to do. And these are the places. Now, you know how when we've opened up a window and when I've minimized it, it goes, Yoop. That's the genie effect. You could have it not do that, which is boring. Why wouldn't you? But you could just have it do down. I like the genie effect, so I'm going to keep that one on, but that's what that is. It's the little Yoop. Yoop. It just goes, yeah, that's the genie effect. Now, there's other things that might be confusing to people that you can leave on or off, but watch. I'm going to open the Finder window here, right? And if I told you that you have to grab it from the title bar to move it, remember we did that the couple days ago, that you have to grab it from this area to move it. Look what happens if I double click on this. My window zoomed in, up. If I double click, it gets bigger or down. That's this feature. Double click a Windows title bar to zoom. No, it's to zoom in, to zoom up or zoom down. Up or down. It's equivalent to on the PC, you have the maximize, minimize button. These are different in that sense, but if you want it to get bigger or smaller, you have to do it in the title bar. That's this feature. If you don't want it to do that, you say you want it, maybe you double click to get it to fill your screen or minimize or do nothing, you don't want it. The zoom is the default one. Okay. But if you ever wonder why when you double click on something it got big, it's because that feature is turned on. If that bugs you and you didn't want that, then you just say do nothing. Does that make sense? The default setting is zoom. So that's the where I'm going to leave it. Now you can minimize an application instead of going all the way there. You can tell it to go into its application button. So instead of, when I minimize it now, instead of going all the way, whoop, then it's going to go into its own application right there, right? But then you don't see it. So if I have my Safari window open and I click, oh, Safari window, if I click on this now, it's going to whoop, and it went there instead of over there. The only thing about that is that then you don't know it's open, right? So if you have this open and you do that, minimize it, it just goes down into its icon, but then you don't see over here that it's open. Doesn't matter because when you click on it, it'll come up again. So yeah, it's just minimizing it. And for eons by default, it's always gone over there. And then you can see the windows that are open to click on them. When might that help? So I'm going to go ahead and turn that feature off, minimize windows into application items. So now if I open a Safari and I minimize it, it should go back there again. So when would that help? Maybe because if I do have, say, 2 or 3 windows, maybe I'm writing 3 letters and I minimize them, right? So I'm going to open another window and I'm going to go somewhere else on this one. I'm going to go to Google and I minimize it. Then over here, I can see the 3 windows and I know that I want to open up the Google one or the start page one or like you can see which one to open versus if they go and they hide behind Safari, you can't see that. We were talking about it, Phil. There's one feature on Windows that I like, Windows computers, not Mac computers, which is that if you hover over their icon, over here, a little window pops open instead of there, and it shows you the 2 or 3 windows that you have running. On the Mac, they stay over there. So that's something that I like about the Windows, for example. There's like 2 or 3 things Windows that does better than the Mac. That's one of them. But if I click on Safari, one just opens up. Oh, yeah. Or you right click and it shows you that I have personal Google, personal start, and personal macOS Sequoia. So then I go, okay, I want to open the one that's macOS Sequoia. And I open that one, right? So if I have 3 I have 3 Safari windows open right now, even though none seems to be visible to you. I see them down there. And I can either go down here and click on the one I want, or I can right click not only to quit, but also to open the one that I want. And I want the start page. Okay, so I'll click on that one and the start page opens up. Okay, so that's just a different way to open stuff. I think that's one too many. Like, you don't really need to know all this. Just showing you what these features are. I'm going to leave it in the default setting that it minimizes down to that area. If you guys prefer to click it on, it'll minimize into its icon, but then you will never see the windows there, which might be something you don't care about anyway. So just letting you know what that feature is. I can't teach you every feature of the system settings. There's bazillions. So I'm teaching you the important one. So that one doesn't matter. The next one matters a lot for people who are really comfy with their computers. How many of you feel like you're really comfy with your computers already? Okay. The rest of you just watch, but don't need to do that. It says automatically hide and show the dock. I told you, I work with images, video editing, photo editing. I want to use every inch of my screen. How many times do we use the dock? We use it every time we open an app. Other than that, if I'm working on my photo, I don't need the dock, right? But even if I need it, if I take a tiny extra step, then this helps me use more space. So it says automatically hide and show the dock. So watch, I'm gonna, oh. Can't believe that amongst everything I bring, I'm gonna have to bring a fly swatter. In the summer, we tend to have gnats coming in. And when I teach here in person in the summer, anyway, I'm gonna turn this on. And what happened to my dock? It's gone. So for better or for worse, let me clean up other stuff. Let me move this out of the way if, so that everyone looks. Suddenly I have more space on my screen, right? So when I need the dock, I need to grab my mouse and basically hit the bottom of my screen. Boom. And it comes up. I have to like bang it, crash it into the bottom. And there comes the dock. So this is how I use my dock at home. I don't have it. And then when I need it, I hit the bottom of my screen. You wait, not even a second, you wait like a split second and it comes up. Okay. Now, what's that? So when I do that, I don't have to have my dock sitting there all the time. So if that's an issue that matters to you, then that's what you do. And by the way, Jenny, you have all of these options. This is all been stuff that the dock has functioned this way forever, right? So for class, I don't do that. For class, I'm gonna keep it on because I want you guys to always see my dock. But yeah, when you're working with all of your screen and you have a MacBook Air, that's a good one to learn. But you need to remember how to find that dock. You literally need to take your mouse aggressively and bang it at the bottom. Like really, not just touch that area. If I have it turned off, right? And I gently go to this area and wait for the dock to come up, nothing's happening. And watch my screen. Yeah, so watch my screen. Here's the key. See my mouse? Not coming up. It's the only important part of my mouse is the tip of the mouse. And the tip of the mouse isn't touching the end yet, isn't touching the end yet. And when it finally touches the end, okay, so if you have a mouse and you go, I'm in the area, what's happening? It's because you haven't gone far enough. And it's not really about banging it. You're right. But when I'm doing this stuff and people just kind of gently lay it, gently lay it there, they wonder why. But if you just kind of go down as if there's no end, you will end up putting the tip out. That's what I mean by banging it. Because a lot of people go to that area. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. You need to take it out. So just go swoop down as if you're going to keep going and then the tip will get out, right? So basically that's what happens. If you just wait for it gently over here, no go, keep going. And then it works. Okay. So that's what that is. Now, I'm going to turn it off just because for class, I want to have the dock always available. But I highly recommend, again, for those of you who come here in person or who are at home, who don't know, should I, shouldn't I, turn it on during the 2.5, 3 hours that we're in class. If it's working or not, you go, I don't see my dock. I can remind you how to get it. And then that you slowly work it into your, and finally go, I'm going to go home and I'm going to keep it off and then see how it works. But just use it. At least try these things while I'm here. Try the Stage Manager if you were intrigued by it. Try the dock being off, especially for those of you who have a little laptop with a tiny screen. This is going to be that much more space, right? Okay. Now, but if it's at all confusing, and here's the problem with having it on. And I'm going to turn this off, automatically show in house. So here's the only problem with having it on and not being very comfy with the computers. Say you put your mouse, say you put your Finder window over here all the way to the bottom. See that? And then you want to go click on that and whoops, you can't click on that. Why? Because when you put your mouse there, suddenly the dock is running over it. Does that make sense? So you need to be aware that if you're going to need something at the bottom of your window and it's going to go down there, then maybe you're going to have to move it up so that you can, what's that? Yeah. So there you go. Okay. So just make sure that whatever you have, as much as I'm telling you, don't hide the important things on this on the left side. Oh, this is that feature. I'm telling you, don't hide the important things on the left side. I'm also telling you, maybe don't hide the things at the very bottom if you know that once you do this, you won't be able to reach them. But there's less things on the bottom that you could mess up, but just saying. Okay, so that's the hide and show the dock, which I will leave on to tote. But now that we've done that, I can have you guys do something else. So if I am going to, let's open a Finder window. That's the easiest thing to do it with. Let's open a Finder window. This could be any app. Oh, I forgot my jacket, and the heat, the air hits me and then bounces back to you guys. It comes from those there. And it's banging against me. I need to think. I ran out. I forgot. I said, oh, it's not so hot today. It's not so cold today. It's a great day. I forgot to bring my jacket. Okay. Okay,
Diane?
everyone opened a Finder window. Yes, Barbara?
I don't have desktop and dock. I just have desktop on the left.
You mean in your system preferences?
Well, you had us click on desktop and dock.
Yes.
Okay, I clicked on it. I just have desktop. I don't have desktop and dock.
So maybe because we were down here, you need to scroll to the very top. There.
I don't have it. I have
Okay, so
folders.
share your screen so I can see what's up. If you guys go and attend one of my classes on Zoom, you have to be able to do this. Okay, so this is the this is your systems, this is your Finder window, and you're supposed to see either desktop or dock. I was talking at where you see the desktop and dock together is right behind you. It's in the system settings. So that's fine. What you're looking at is perfectly good. The window behind you, system settings, that's where you see desktop and dock and where we make these choices. So like you right now have made the choice to automatically hide and
No.
show the dock. See how you have it turned on right there? So that's where you see desktop and dock. But when I asked you to open a Finder window, it's for what we're going to do next. So that's what you did. You opened a Finder window. There it is. And it's what we're going to do next. Okay. So you're
Okay.
fine. You're fine with wherever you're at. Stop your share. I'm going to share my screen again. Okay. So guys, here's my, here's my Finder window. This one can be made into full screen. Do you remember how to make it into full screen? The green dot. If you hover, you can also go to full screen over there, which is kind of weird because just click on it, right? But anyway, the choice is there as well. But let's click on full screen. So everyone make the Finder window be full screen. Click on the green dot to make your Finder window be full screen. Okay, so it should be taking over everything. So when it takes over everything, did you notice that the dock is gone for everyone anyway?
Yes.
If you did a full screen, let's see. Okay, let's try again. Click on that green. Just click on it, simply click. That's full screen. It's full screen. Okay, so now try to get your dock. You just learned how to do it. The dock is there. You just learned how to do it. Go find your dock. Hover down and touch the bottom of your screen and there's the dock. So if you're in full screen mode, your dock is still available to you. Got it? So, nope, you're just taking your mouse, but you're not clicking on anything. You're just putting the tip of your arrow to touch the very bottom of the screen. Or as I say, just keep going, kind of keep going down. I think the guillotine is about to come out. Someone is doing something for someone else. Here.
He did it. It's his fault.
Chop. No.
I was down there. It would come up.
No, that's fine.
Don't ask when you're there.
He was detecting.
All right. Now, for real, it's fine.
So it doesn't have to be turned
The
on.
important thing isn't that it came up or not with him. The important thing is for you to do it now. So it's good that he showed you. Now you've got this other finger there that's giving a different thing. It's one finger, but not two. Two is a different thing.
Oh.
No, thank you. So keep going down. It's not down enough. There we go. Now try it again. Move it up and down and do it a bunch of times. There. Nope. You clicked. So now something is opening. Keep going down and pulling it up. Okay. Now we're not clicking on anything because if you click, what's going to happen? you're going to click on something and something will open. So the idea is you just hover your mouse. When I say hover, it's like taking your mouse there, but not actually clicking. So if you were able to do that and you were able to pull up in full screen mode, if you're able to pull up your mouse, then give me a yes. Did it work for everyone? Yes, 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 yes. I'm seeing yeses everywhere. Okay, good. How about at home? Sue, how's it going? Barbara, Yolanda? I saw Sue, you're muted, so I can't hear you. I still can't hear you. You're still muted. You're still muted. The fact that you keep talking, I swear to you, makes no difference. I still can't hear you.
My problem was I was in full screen and I had to step.
Ah, how do you say yes or no in full screen? Got it. Okay, so listen. Next magic trick.
How do you get,
So the desktop, the dock disappeared, but we know how to make it come back. How about all that stuff at top? That is really useful. The menu bar that we're about to learn what it is. And then if I call it a menu bar, you won't know what it is. But up at the top, that row at the top is called the menu bar, where we found the control panel, where we see the apple. I told you, you see the apple all the time on a Mac screen. Every computer, no matter how old or how new it is, the apple's always there, except for when you're in full screen mode. How do you bring it back?
Same thing.
Knock it up against the top, and there it comes. All the way up. I like how you say, I'm glad I didn't have to say that, Maud. This one's a bit easier because the tip of your arrow is going upwards. So as soon as it touches, you're not hiding your mouse. There it is, right? The bottom is a little bit harder because you have to make your whole mouse go down before it works. But at the top, there we go. Now you have, so even in full screen mode, it looks like it's all gone. It's just hiding. Okay, so you just touch the top and then you can do whatever you needed to do. So you know how I always said, how do you get out of your full screen mode? How do you get out of your full screen? Carol,
Hey.
Carol, Jenny, do we need a hand here? Do we need a hand? Okay. Okay, first you need to be in full screen mode. So click on the green button. Good. Now, did you touch the bottom to try to get the dock? Going a bit more, a little bit more. Sometimes you do need to do that in the old computers, a bit more of a bang. I mean it, like ding. Why is it not?
Option.
So the top one's popping in, but not the bottom one. Did you change your dock? You don't have it on and off. So let me make it a hide. It's not hiding. Huh.
how do you get
Dock isn't
recent?
hiding. So see how even when you turn this on and off, this isn't hiding, which it should have been hiding. So
I
when you
can
go
make
full,
it
when
big.
you go full screen, it's not coming up. So it's just not working for you right now. It's probably just because the top one is working though. Bottom it's
How
not.
do you get recents up there under?
Okay, it doesn't matter at all what you're looking at. You could be looking at applications, recents, it doesn't matter at all. Right now we're looking at the dock and the menu bar appearing and disappearing, okay? So I don't care what's in the side at all. We could be opening any window right now. Got it? Just make sure that you know how to do this. I'm seeing yeses, everyone at home. Now, the question I had before is when you're in full screen mode, how do you get out of it?
Escape.
Good. Or now that you know how to go to because the green buttons, they disappeared. So one, I've said escape. It's the easiest one. Remember the escape. But you could also go and bring this whole menu up and then click again on the green button. And it's an on and off green button. It's just that it disappears on you. And you can hit escape. Perfectly good. Or you could pull up the whole menu bar again and click on the green button again. And then that brings it back down. Does that make sense? But I couldn't show you that one until you knew how to bring the top bar down. Okay? It's easier to, as far as I'm concerned, it's easier to do that and hit escape. But If you want to, you go up and hit the green button again, and that's exactly the same as hitting escape. Okay? Yes, Bless? You need to first hide everything.
I can't make it full screen.
No, the only one, remember, if you go to system settings, I had mentioned system settings doesn't go full screen. When you hover over it, see how it shows you just a little plus sign? It doesn't give you the choice to go full screen. It just gets bigger or smaller. It's one of the few. Just about everything else goes full screen, but there's a couple things that won't. And system settings is one of them. That's why I had you open a Finder window. And again, I don't care what you're looking at. I just said, but if you were to open anything else that we've been opening, Safari, whatever, and you do full screen mode, then to bring it down, you have to either hit exit or click on the green again. Okay? So your tip of your arrow has to touch the top or the bottom to pull up the dock or the Apple menu bar. Now, let me quit. Now, we have been talking about the Apple menu bar. I've been saying Apple menu bar. So what is this Apple menu bar? It's that. So hit escape or exit full screen. Let's go back to normal usage. And then some of you left it really big, like, so click on that. You can't just hover over, you need to click. There we go. So it goes back down. So we don't want the full screen mode. Full screen mode is really useful for some things. And in fact, someone taught my son to do full screen mode when he was young. And I go to his computer and it just bugs me that he's always in full screen mode. And it's like, but it goes to show that there's people who like different things. And he likes to see his apps in full screen mode. I really don't. But in a way, it kind of imitates the PC. The PC doesn't have these floating windows. The PC, when you open an app, it fills your screen, right? So full screen mode is kind of like that. It fills your screen. And I think at first at school, he was using a PC. And so he got accustomed to that. Whole point is on the Macs, we have more flexibility, but that brings confusion, choices versus you can only eat this ice cream. You can't choose versus you have 25. Which one should I choose? I don't know. So yeah, choices are good, but if you just want clarity, full screen mode or stage manager, one app at a time, things that might make your life easier. All right. So, what's this top menu bar that I've been having you use without really explaining it? So now we know, first of all, let me finish one more thing about the dock. The dock is a place where you put links. These are little links, shortcuts to applications that will open if you click on them. That you haven't had the description of it, but you've seen it. You click on something and an application opens, right? It's only for applications. It's not for files. That said, this line here, this little line right there, you see how there's a line on the dock? And then there's another one right there. You see there's two little lines, that line and that line. And for those of you at home, I'm just pointing to the display, but you guys see them? That makes a slight division. From here to the right, so basically from the trash to the first line, that can hold files. And we're going to talk about that when we get to file management, Mac level 1. It's all file management. We can have files there. Files, remember the first day or two, we talked about the difference between a file and a folder and a document and all that kind of stuff. So it's that final product. It's that report that you're writing, that letter that you're writing, the photo that you're working on. That's a file. That can live on the dock from here, from the trash to the right. And in fact, in the trash, we trash files. Right? So this could be files. I'm not going to teach you how to do it right now. I'm going to teach you that portion of the dock you're going to learn in the Mac level 1 class. But from here to the left, it's all apps, applications. Diana, you're looking like you're not seeing it. So let me see. But you see it on yours?
Yeah.
See that line right there?
Yeah.
That's the line I'm talking about. This could have files, but from that first line on to the left, it's only applications. Then what's the difference? What's this second line doing here? What is that? Okay. So we're gonna basically talk a little bit more about the dock And then I'm gonna get up to the menu bar that I had segued to the menu bar because we were using it, but I forgot that I still have to finish explaining the dock a little bit more. So the dock, let's close the system preferences in case you are still having it open, and let's open a Finder window. Just have just one thing at a time. Let's open a Finder window. Close the system quit. Now, let me just say that I've been trying to make a distinction between close and quit because but to say the truth, we also talk about just closing an application. But on a Mac, that means you need to quit it. If you close an application that has no windows like the system preferences, it quits. System preferences is one window only. In fact, it has a ton to it, but in this mode where you click on something and you have many choices, click on that and many choices, but it is one window. So when, what's that? So that somebody had asked me about software updates. So if your computer has an update available, it'll tell you you have an update available. And so that once I update, then it'll disappear. Okay. So for now, I'm ignoring the whole updates question, but someone asked me, should I update? Diana asked me during break. If you have an update available, go ahead and do it. Just be careful between upgrades and updates. Let me just backtrack. We're going to talk about that at another time, but ask me that again later. I want to finish the dock and the menu bar. Well, I'm not going to finish it because there's more than what I can cover in the next 40 minutes, but I'm going to keep working with the dock and the menu bar first, and then we'll talk about upgrades and updates next time. So can you remind me again that same question if it comes up? And we talked about a bit about it the first day, but not in depth when I was asking you guys about your operating systems and things like that. But we haven't had a deep conversation about it. Okay, so here we go. Watch my screen. I'm in the Finder window on the left side in the sidebar and the columns bar. I get to choose whatever is here is showing what's inside my computer. I'm going to choose the word applications. Applications, apps, programs, software. These are all the applications that are installed on my computer. Now, my computer has all the Adobe, and everyone who's at school has all the Adobe applications. But those of you who don't, and you start and you see this, yours will start at the A for App Store at home. If you don't have the Adobe applications installed, you would have to purchase them and install them. But this is more what most computers start with. Here we have all of these Adobes because this is all the other stuff that I teach. Okay. So most of you guys start at the A because it's A, B, C, D, and it's up and down. Now, let me just show you something. I want you guys, first of all, to change your view. So over here, some of you, watch my screen. Some of you still are looking at this as icons. And so you're seeing this. I'm seeing Susie. I'm seeing some of you guys, Carol, a bunch of you guys looking at things as icons. This is the least useful way to look at the Finder window because all you see is the name and nothing else. So let's switch that. Over here, click on this and choose as list. Now, if you have a window that's really big, then you don't get, then you just have your choices one after the other. That says icons, that says list. If you have a Finder window that's kind of small, then they got collapsed into one little menu bar and you can go between as icons and as list. Does that make sense? So let's, depending if it's too small or too big or much smaller and bigger, let's make it about yay big and choose as list. Yes, Rod? You're not in a Finder window, you're in your system preferences. So close your system preferences. Yep, quit it. Yeah, and open a Finder window. Perfect. Now click on applications. There we go. All right, now go to the view and you have this in the way. Bring it down a little bit because this isn't, no, bring your window down a little bit because we need to be able to see the, and I'm going to put your name tags in here because when we go to the menu, you want to see the stuff and then click on the second choice as list. Okay. Now we did something, Susie, while you were gone. Let me turn this on. I'm going to just do it only because I want it done. But you can when you watch the videos, you'll know what's happening. And it's these two things that just turned on. Okay, hold on. Okay. So guys, give me a yes when everyone is seeing a window in list view so that I don't have to go back. So how's it going over there? Maud, Phil, is everyone seeing this in list view now? I'm seeing Phil. I think you're still in icons view. Okay. And at home, everyone is good with list view. I see you guys. Okay. Now I'm going to put you here so people at home, people here can see you guys. Okay. Clear your feedback. Okay. So here's what's up. These are all the applications that come in the computer. And can you count how many they are? No, but remember that first day that I had you guys turn on, I said, show path bar, show status bar. Well, guess what? The status bar is telling me that there's, in my computer, there's 85 items. You guys might have the same or more or less than me, but that's what it's telling me there are. The path bar is telling me where they are. My applications are in my Macintosh hard drive, but the status bar is telling me there's 85 items. Does that make sense? So Maud, did you turn yours on in your computer? Those of you who had it, is it already 15 minutes too? No. I thought that was an alarm telling me it's 15 minutes too. Okay. Okay, so you needed to go up to the very top view and turn on the status bar and the path bar. So everyone is seeing that? Carol, are you seeing that? The status bar? So go ahead and say show status bar.
Oh, does it tell you at the bottom right here?
Yeah, because you turned it on already, but she hadn't turned hers on. That's something we did the first day. You guys might have forgotten about it. Once it's on, it's on. You never have to turn it on again. So you might promptly forget, but the first day in class or second day in class, I had you guys turn these two bars on before they weren't there. Oh, I touched the screen and someone's gonna shout at me. They're gonna powder it, see the fingerprints and discover it's me, and they're gonna chop my hand off. Yeah, you want to have them on forevermore. Yeah, these two need to be there. So now, why does it help us? Because it helps us find our files and know how many we have. Now, what do you need me to come up to see what's happening? At the bottom of your Finder window. Okay, now you have your status bar. Go up to view and show the path bar now. Show path bar. That's your second one. So we used the path bar last week. That's fine. Okay. Now that's something that we turned on, and after that, you never need to turn it on again, even if you upgrade your computers. It's something that you've changed in the settings of your computer that will always upgrade with you. It'll always be there. So you need to forget about it. You just need to know that they're from now on, whenever you need to, they're there. Yes, Gigi? Yeah. Diana asked me that too. So give me a second. Let me first show you how to finish working with the doc. In case we don't get around to it today, can you write it down as a question to ask me next time? Okay, how to change the sizes, because I want to finish something, and otherwise that takes us into a different part of system preferences, but it's a really important question. Diana asked me and I said, give me a second. It's how to change the sizes of the things on your screen. But for now, I want to finish the conversation about the doc. So these apps, if I sit and count them, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know, maybe there's 15 in there. And yet this thing tells me that I have 85 applications, 85 items, right? So what's up is that the computer comes with many more apps than you will use on a daily basis. And the whole point of the doc is to have the things that you use on a daily basis. It's like, I have a fondue set. How many times do I make fondue? So it's not sitting in my closet in my kitchen. It's sitting in a place in my pantry, which is whenever a few times a year, my son for his birthday always wants a fondue, whatever, we pull it out and we use it. Christmas decorations, you don't have them sitting there in your house in a box all the time. You put them in an attic or in a garage. You pull them out if you celebrate Christmas, if not whatever you celebrate, Halloween. So we have a lot more stuff than we need on a daily basis, many more applications that we need on a daily basis. So that is that storage, all our 85 applications. And on your dock, you want to pull in there the ones that you use and pull out of there the ones that you don't use. Now there might be many that you don't use yet because you don't know about them. So my request is that we're not going to take anything off the dock yet that you don't use, because over the next 3 months, you'll be learning about them and you're going to go, oh, that's a really good one. But what we're going to do is we're going to add some today to learn how to do that. And then we're going to take them off again. So you know how to add and take away. At some point, you'll look at this and you go, I don't use Apple TV. I'm going to take it off. Or I don't use the music app, so you can take it off. But guess what? Later, at some point, you discover that you want Apple TV. You'll just grab it from the storage and you'll drag it on. Does that make sense? So let's go ahead and first add some on. So if you're looking at your applications over here, one thing that we don't have in our doc all the time is the dictionary. See how it's of alphabetical order? So watch what I'm going to do. First of all, to make life easier for you, let's drag the Finder window until it's kind of closer to the dock. If you're good and comfy with your mouse and everything, you don't need to do this. But for some people, as they're dragging it over, sometimes it kind of drops somewhere where it shouldn't drop. So let's do this. Let's put it a little bit closer and then watch, because it's got a tiny little trick to it. So just watch first the first time. I'm going to grab my dictionary. I'm going to click on the icon. I'm going to start dragging it down, but I'm not letting go, not letting go. And what if it suddenly drops? Okay, no big deal. It kind of goes back to where it went. And I let go. But what if I let go wrong and it goes into a folder? Boom. Well, in this case, since it's an application, the computer is warning me, but it could have not warned me if it wasn't a file. Or if I'm far away and I haven't made it to the dock yet, it could be that I drop it over here. See that? If this happens, the first thing I want you to do is to do Command Z. Command Z. Oh, hello? That is bizarre. Why is Command Z working for this one? Okay, I'm going to teach you what this is. You will learn what this is. I will teach you. Let's do this. Notice that dictionary is still there. For now, because I don't want any of these hanging out there, do a right click and move to trash. Don't worry, you're not getting rid of anything important. We'll talk about those. You will learn what those things are, but I'm surprised that it won't let you undo that. But anyway, that's why in order to not drop them in the wrong place, I'm having you put this Finder window nearby so you don't get those. And now just watch. I'm going to grab this dictionary. I'm going to take it down and I have to drag down, down, down. And when I come in here, if I try to put it on top of something, it's not going to work. I need to point my mouse tip to the middle. And then they're going to go, oh, you're trying to come in? I'll make some space for you. See that? If you keep it here, nothing's going to happen. You need to go in between and then they're going to go, oh, all right, begrudgingly. And then you let go. And you can choose where you want to put it, either at first, or you can even grab it now and drag it over here too. Okay. If you decide that you're going to use this all the time, right now, I'm just having us put some things there to learn. Because, for example, and I'm going to now, hold on, I'm going to take it off. And there's so many ways to take it off, but one way is to just drag it off, but it won't like drag off just because I drag it off. It kind of, people make mistakes and do these things, so it just won't go away. You need to go away like 2 inches up. I'm going to go about 2 inches up and there it says remove and I let go. Notice that dictionary is still there. All I am doing, this is important, let me finish. All I'm doing is making a little quick shortcut to my app and putting it on the dock. So when I put it in here, right? Now the dictionary is still there, But the way to open it in the past, okay, I want to use my dictionary. I use it all the time. I'm a writer. I want to know the real meaning of this word. I have to open the Finder window. I'm going to have to go to applications. I'm going to have to go find my dictionary, and I'm going to open my dictionary. That's one thing, right? So now, instead of doing all that, I just put it in my doc and I open the dictionary, right? So when someone said, why would I do it? Because it's something I want all the time. Now I discovered that I'm finished writing my novel and I haven't used it for 6 months. And I'm like, I don't really need the dictionary there. I can just remove it either by pulling it up about 2 inches off, or I can right click, options, remove from doc. I right clicked in trash, moved it to the trash. So when I had dropped it in the middle, and this is a thing that's useful, we'll learn it. But when I had dropped it somewhere in the middle and I got that little, this is an alias, we'll talk about it later. I said, right click, move to trash. Move to trash. I got rid of it. It's just a shortcut and I don't need it there. So I move it to the trash. The app is still there. You see how it still says dictionary up here? So I'm not hurting the app. I just have to do the whole process of going to applications and open it. It's a link that makes it quicker to get there. So we're all going to put it in there. And then you can either drag it out or you can right click, options, remove from doc. So everyone try that with the dictionary. Go ahead and do that. And then yes, Blas?
You put it on the screen by mistake. Why could you pick it up from the screen? and put it-
Because when you dropped it on the screen, you made an alias. And then if you put it in there, it's an alias, which is a technicality. You probably could. That's what I'm going to talk to you about, aliases, when we go to the Mac level 1 class. Yes and no. No, but yes. Oh, what a quick question. No, it's not the same thing. Do they operate the same function? Yes. This is linked to that application. So if I click on it, the application opens. So in that sense, it's linked. But this isn't really a link. We call links things that are like in the internet, and you click on a link and it takes you to another page. So it's doing the same thing. It's really a shortcut to another page. So it's linking you to that page. So the word link is just that it takes you there. So does this take you to the calendar app? It does, but we don't call this a link. We call this a doc item or a shortcut. But does it link you to it? Yeah. So that's what I'm saying, yes or no. But when in the computer, when we use the word link, we kind of mean something else. When we use it as to link, a verb, then it's accurate, but it isn't a link. A link is something else. Does that make sense? But does it link you to the program? Yeah. Okay, was everyone able to? Safari will never bring you to an app. You might be talking about the Spotlight. We're going to talk about the Spotlight. Spotlight is searching. Okay. Safari searches the internet. It will never find an application for you to use because applications live in your computer. So if you want to do a search for the dictionary, you would have to use the Spotlight. Spotlight is the app that, well, I could go to Safari. I could go find a dictionary. Yeah, I can go to a dictionary in Safari. I can open a dictionary. And then I can write the meaning of the word blossom. Okay. Oh, bless. Okay. Bless, not blossom. I heard blossom. Okay.
That's gonna be called
So that's fine. You can do that. But if you have the dictionary app on, and I think I already took it off. So if I have the dictionary app, and there's so many other ways to use the dictionary, by the way. So I'm not trying to teach you to use the dictionary, but if you open the dictionary, then you just write blossom over there. It's a little app that's a dictionary. It's also a thesaurus. It also takes you to the internet if you want to know what blossom means. It's a bit of everything. So that's this one. Okay. An apple blossom, a very specific one. Okay. So so that's what the dictionary app does. But you can have a dictionary so many other ways. You can right click on words on the internet and it'll give you a definition. So if I'm in, if I find the word flower in a in anywhere on the internet, and you want to know what flower means, you right click and say, look up flowers, and it gives you a dictionary. Anyway, so there's like so many different ways of getting a dictionary. But the whole point is this is just an app that comes with a computer that we learn to put on and off. Now we can grab another one, the calculator. Now the calculator I use a lot. The calculator is an app that I have permanently installed in my dock because I use the calculator a lot. So actually I'm going to grab the calculator and drop it in here and make a space for it because I use the calculator. So that's an example of a dock. It doesn't automatically come because I'm in school and I don't, I'm going to not alter my dock to keep it the way it comes because I'm teaching. I'm actually going to get rid of it. So I'm going to move it up and I'm going to move the dictionary off. But now you all know how to add or take away apps. Now, if you take away any of these right now, especially in your home computers, maybe you took away the contacts because you thought you never used them. When I start teaching contacts, no big deal. We'll drive up to contacts and we'll grab it and we'll put it back in there. Does that make sense? So it's not a big deal. But if you ever don't see an app, that's what you would do. Now, Barbara?
I grabbed the dictionary and I moved it down on the dock, but it's still listed in applications.
Yeah. So the calculator is still there. I'm going to
The
grab it, put it
the
in the dock,
dictionary.
and it's still there. The calculator is still there because I'm not moving the app. The app still lives in the applications portion of my computers.
Okay,
All the other 85. If I look for any of these, if I look for mail, messages, let me go to the M. Mail, messages, there's mail. Okay. There's messages. So this is just, you're just making a quick access to turn them on. So what guys, look at this.
okay, got it.
There's 3 lights up there, right? What if I had to climb a ladder and pull a little string to turn them on each time? Fortunately, I have those 3 buttons by the door. So that's a switch that turns them on, right? So consider that these are just switches that turn on the app. Does that make sense? Now, they are just like, would you want a panel of 25 switches to the whole school? No, you just need the 3 for this room. So that's, you're basically putting in only the link, the switches, the links, the whatever, but they really are just shortcuts. So they should not move from here. If they move from here, you're in trouble. Apps have to live in that folder for them to run well. So you're not take them out. You're just making a little extra shortcut to it. Okay. So now then the ones that are in my computer right now, except for the Adobe and the Microsoft, they're free, but this computer already has a lot of non-free apps in it. When you buy your computer, it comes with whatever's free. Anything else you need to buy. So in this case, the school bought the Adobes, bought the Microsofts, and so we have them installed on the school computers, but you at home only have whatever else you purchased. Okay. So whatever you bought with your computer is what comes with it. In this class, I teach only what comes with the Mac. I don't teach you the stuff that we can add. I have other classes that teach you those stuff, but in this class, I teach you only stuff that comes with the Mac. So the dictionary, the calculator, these things that I had you put in, these are all part of the Mac. Okay. Now, so then what's this?
Can I show you my computer?
Sure, let me stop mine. Everyone look at your docs meanwhile and see that there's a second line, right? You have the first line that I said is files, then there's another line, and then there's the doc. So yeah, I'm waiting for your screen share.
Okay, when I go to applications up here, all it shows is Chrome apps, which isn't anything. Then I go down to Barbara's iMac and I have Macintosh here, but when I
Go ahead.
click on Macintosh here and then applications,
Double click.
then it comes up. So it
Okay,
doesn't
so
show
somehow the
in
shortcut is
this
pointing to the wrong
application.
step. Okay, so back up, go one back again. Somehow so grab that applications icon and drag it out to your desk, to your to your sidebar. Drag it out to your sidebar and drop it in between, just like we did before, in between. Drag, okay. No, stop. Yeah. But you just, okay, now go to the bottom one. Okay, click on the top applications one now. And it's taking you, okay, and go to the bottom one now and right click and remove from sidebar, right click. And remove from sidebar. You had, okay, there we go. You had the wrong one. Okay. Perfect. Good question. All right,
Thank you.
you're welcome. I'm gonna, later you guys will know, once we talk more about the Finder, you'll know, but that sidebar in the Finder is similar to the doc. You add and take away whatever you need. She had the wrong icon in there. So sometimes I just fix people's things, but you don't know that yet, so I don't want to explain something that you don't know. All right.
I'm always afraid to delete something.
No, that was a good thing that you asked me. Okay. So now I'm sharing my whole screen again. So when you look at my computer, I have a ton of stuff next to my trash. Most of you guys probably have only 1 or 2 things next to your trash, right? I have a ton of stuff. We'll talk about later what all these are. But just so you know, these first 3 are my extra windows of my Safari. So in order to get rid of them, I can click on one and then just close it. I can click on them and close them individually. Okay. So that's just, I got rid of all those. And then what's left in here are something that, again, these things I will talk about and teach you in the next class, because that's file management. And many of you guys have a lot of, those of you who are using the school computer, see how there's quite a few things in there? That's something that we'll talk about during the file management class, which is Mac level 1, because anything in that first line in there is file management. So I'm not going to talk about it today. But after that first line to the left, there's another line. Okay, so hold on. And we might go ahead and cancel that for a second. And let me show you. If you don't have another line, and I'm going to show you right now what and why it might not be there. So look at my screen. These apps are the ones that the computer came with. They're there. These apps are apps that I've used that weren't on my dock. So maybe you haven't opened one that wasn't on your dock yet. Let's see. So let me explain. Let me just do it. It's easier than explaining. If I look over here, I see an app. I see and I need to find an app that's not on the dock. Here's an app called Preview. The Preview app is not on my dock. You see that? Well, you might not notice, but trust me, it's not on my dock. So I'm going to open it. How do I open it? I have to open it from here by double clicking. I've opened that. So if I look at my dock now, just because it's open, it pops up in that area. You see that? The second line, yeah, that second area, that is holding apps that are not in my dock. That's my 15-minute alarm. So Zoom is running right now, but it doesn't live on my dock. You see that? So it just appears over there. Excel, which I use for your rosters, isn't running right now. It doesn't have a dot on, right? But it's an app that I have used. So it's there. Phil Mod, is there a question? Okay, so it's not about Zoom at all. I have Zoom running right now. You guys don't, because I've got the Zoom running. So you should not have Excel either. You should not have Preview. You should not have anything here other than, and listen well, and this is what I need you to listen, not look at me. The last 3 apps that you've used that don't exist normally on your dock. So I just opened Preview. So watch for a minute. I'm going to do a series. It's a demo, so it's going to take a minute. So don't keep looking at your computer for a minute. I just opened Preview. Okay. I'm going to close it. Quit. I don't need it anymore. So see how the light is off? But the icon stayed. Because the last 3 that I used are going to be here. So watch. I'm using Zoom right now, so it's on, so it's going to stay there. This one I used just now. That means that this one might disappear now because it can only hold the last 3. So now I'm going to go open Stickies. Stickies is not on my dock. So I'm going to open Stickies, but you guys, I need you to keep your eyes on these 3. Keep your eyes on those 3, okay? And tell me what happens the moment I open Stickies, which is right now. What happened to Excel? It's history. More than 3 apps ago, so off it went. Does that make sense? Now I'm going to close Stickies. Zoom is not going to leave because it's running. So if I open another app now that I haven't opened yet, what's going to go next? Preview. So I'm going to open text edit. Preview disappeared. You see that? Now I'm going to close text edit. So these live here. These 3 live here. If one is running, it's not going to disappear. But if Zoom wasn't running, I would have 3 others there. Now, Zoom is something that I'm going to be using all the time. Every time I come into this classroom, I'm going to be using Zoom. So why have it there? Why not put it in the permanent dock? Okay, I can do that 2 ways. I can either just drag it over the line and drop it there, which is something is how I would do it. Or I could right click, I could say options and keep in dock. When I say that, whoop, it moved over to the other side of the line. So now that became a permanent fixture on my dock. Now, since there's only 2, I'm going to open something and it's going to open without kicking anything out. I'm going to open tips. It opened, it didn't kick anything out. I'm going to quit it. Now, the last program to be used was the Stickies, which is this yellow one. So now when I open another thing that's not in my dock, let me open the font book. I'm going to double click and open font book. Boom, Stickies got kicked out. Does that make sense? All right, so that's what those 3 are. They are the last 3 that you've used. Why? Because a lot of the times, if you need something today, you might need it this afternoon. Maybe you're working with a program you don't normally use, like you're doing your taxes. So suddenly your tax app appears over there. You use it, you finish your taxes. You don't need it anymore. You don't need it there year round on your dock. You only need it a month or a week, or depending on how fast you do your taxes, a year, and then it doesn't need. So it's it's easily accessible. I don't have to go all the way to applications to look for it. It's there because I've been using it. And then once it becomes the 3rd one least used, it'll be kicked out. And then next time you need it, you'll have to go into your applications. Does that make sense? But if it's something like Zoom that I'm going to use all the time, just put it in the dock permanently by saying keep in dock, or just dragging it over to that side of the line. Okay. So the ones on that little in between are going to rotate, and you can change in the settings if you want to rotate 5 of them or 2 of them or whatever. But my point of view is if you're going to use a lot of them, just click them over. Put them on this side and that's it. And don't have it rotate. What's that? Zoom is an application. If you're using Zoom, then since it's a Z, it'll be at the very bottom alphabetically of all your applications. If you've never installed it, then no. Okay, so then you never installed it. It doesn't come with a Mac. You need to install Zoom. It's free, but you need to install it. Yeah. Okay. Now, some of you guys, have you taken a class on Zoom or anything on Zoom on your computer, Maud? Okay. Because if you haven't, then that's why you don't have Zoom. But if you have, you could also be using the school Zoom through the school system, and it doesn't even install on your computer. It depends on how you've used it. So it could be that you're like, oh yeah, it's not here, but I've used Zoom, and it's because you're using it through an internal school system. But on the other hand, you could have downloaded and installed it. I don't know. So those of you who have your own computers, you can check and see if you have it or not. It doesn't matter. All right. So that's what those 2 lines are. These are the impermanent, so to say, apps. Now, if you find that you're using this one all the time, just drag it over or right click, keep in dock. And then for the ones that you don't use, so say that you never use Apple TV, you can drag it off, or you can right click, options, remove from dock. Okay. Again, Time Machine doesn't exist on this dock. Time Machine is up there. So Time Machine is not an app. It's a utility. It's a bit different. Time Machine is something I'll teach in Mac level 2, and it's a backup app. And she's taken the class before, so she's asked me about stuff like that. But Time Machine is different. So this is my Macintosh hard drive. This is files. So for now, let's ignore them. But this over here is all apps, just impermanent ones versus permanent ones. Now, I wanted to show you a couple more things, and then we're going to finish today. So a couple more things that I wanted to show you was, I'm not going to show you all the menu bar, but that top line on the top of your desktop, that's the Apple menu bar. Okay? The Apple menu bar, the one where the Apple sits on the left side all the time. Well, we're going to work on that in the future, but on the far right of that menu bar, there's a search bar, magnifying glass. The magnifying glass is called the spotlight tool. So it's been called the search bar, but it's basically a search bar. And when you click on it, this appears on your screen. Okay, so go ahead and click on that search. It's called the Spotlight Search. That's just the name of the app. Okay, so say that you want to open the calculator and you forgot that to open the calculator, you could always have gone to your Finder, Applications, Calculator. Say you forgot and you're looking for the calculator. Then the Spotlight Search helps us. You just write calculator or even calc, and it gives you many choices, but the very top one is always the app, and it even says open. So that is the top choice. So I'm going to click on that, and the calculator just opened up. Since it doesn't live on my dock, where does it appear? It appears here. So once I'm done with it, and the calculator is one that if I click on the red dot, the whole app closes. What if I want to not go all the way there to do a search, right? Then I could also do Command and Spacebar. That's just for those of you who like shortcuts. But if you don't like shortcuts, forget it. Command and Spacebar is a quick access to the search. What? Yeah, but Spotlight, for Spotlight, not Searchlight, Spotlight. Command Spacebar. But otherwise, it's sitting there always. So it's one less shortcut to remember. There's important ones that, how many times do you search for something a day? Again, this is your computer. You're not searching the internet. We're searching your computer for stuff. Search is your computer. An article you wrote, the file you left there, an application that you don't remember how to find. What if you forget that opening the Finder window, going to applications, that all your applications are there? What if you want to open an app? You look at here and you can't see it and it's there, but you're just kind of, your brain is, and you can't see it. So you go over here to the Spotlight and you write podcasts. And just all it took was write the word pod, and there it shows up. If I hit the return, it opens, or I just click on the word podcast. My podcast app opens. Again, I haven't used it yet, so it doesn't. Okay. If I look down here, now I've got the last one I opened before, then I have the calculator and the podcast. Does that make sense? All right. So that's just a search bar, but the Spotlight, I just told you again and again, it searches your computer. Well, not really, because the Spotlight search is set up, and you can change that in the settings, but it shows much more. It searches your computer, but it also searches the web, the store, the app store, movie showtimes, locations nearby, relevant to you. So it's a very powerful search. So if I say the word Dalmatian, there's no app called Dalmatian. So it's like, oh, did you mean Dalmatian? And it's showing me What's this icon? That icon is Safari. So do you want to see Dalmatians on the web in Safari? Are you talking about Puppycoot? There's a thing called Dalmatian Pelican. I didn't know. Puppies for sale. So it is searching on websites for any possible mention. Now I keep scrolling down. Then it's giving you Siri knowledge, which is more like an encyclopedia. Dalmatian is an extant romantic language, maybe romance language. Maybe it shows you images of Dalmatians. Oh, there's a song called Dalmatian Plantation. What's the definition? It's a dog with white short. Read. Or related searches. So if you keep going down, it's going to keep giving you options for Dalmatian. Does that make sense? It's beyond just searching your computer. But the first searches, it will always give you the first answer, will always be what's on your computer. If you have a file called Dalmatians, because you are writing an article about Dalmatians, it's going to pop up at the top. If there's an app called Dalmatian, because someone made an app called Dalmatian, it's going to be at the top. First options are always what's in your computer. But then it keeps searching. So say I go to the first little icon of Safari, and I go to that, it opens Safari. And here it is. It's showing me Dalmatian dogs in Safari. Does that make sense? I just wrote the word Dalmatian in the computer's spotlight search. And since it found nothing on the computer, the first choice was on the web. Okay, I'm going to quit Safari. So let's do one more spotlight search. Let's say that I write cakes. Well, no, but pay attention. I wrote cake. And now it's like, okay, one suggestion. I must have written cake somewhere in my calendar at one point. So first it's looking at my computer, and I probably wrote the word cake. Maybe I said, bring cake to someone, some appointment I made, a birthday cake. Then it suggests you want the word cake on internet. Then it looks to documents. It looks like I had a carrot cake document. You'll see when we work with files, I have some recipes that I put in there as examples. And oh, I haven't used it since 2020. I have a cheesecake in 2024. But let's see what that calendar mention for cake might be, because I'm curious. So I click on it. And here it is. Looks like it's showing me the calendar. And it's not pointing to one. Let me do an internal search for cake. No results. So I'm not sure what it was. Could be that it's one that I wrote and deleted, because when I teach you to use the calendar, I actually probably wrote one and deleted it. So because I was surprised to see it there. I wasn't expecting that the spotlight would have the word cake calendar. But maybe in a note on an event, I said, bring the cheesecake or something. Because I do these, I showcase these apps, and then I make fake appointments, like go to Carol's, bring the cake, right? And then I delete it, and then I connect it. So I teach you guys how to use all these apps. So I probably did that at one point. Or I could have it open that file, or I could go back to have it search the internet. Or I can go down and it probably says how to make, I have a folder called cakes. Best vegan chocolate. What's a cake? It's a dessert. Images of cakes. I think people are hungry. Okay. All right. So it's 4:15. I'm just showing you that the spotlight is beyond just the computer, but the first solutions are always your computer. Okay. All right. Let's see you in 2 days on Wednesday. Those of you who missed classes, please, no, the last class is the following Monday. And then after that, this is important. Thanks for asking. Next Wednesday is the first day of Mac Level 1. So please make sure you're signed up to that class. Otherwise, on Monday, remind me to look at I can look at the rest right now if you have a minute, if you don't know if you're in the class. Because next Wednesday, if you come to class and you're not in the class, you won't be able to take the class. my.sbcc.edu. If you need to go, please go. But if you want to know if you're in the class, I'll check right now.
I don't know.
Actually, this isn't, Mac level 1, there's 2 rosters, so I have to look at both of them. Cause one is in person and this is the one that's in person. So you guys at home, if your name is here, then you are,
We don't see it.
Your,
oh,
your,
I didn't
your
share.
head is in the way.
Here we go.
Your
So
head,
this
oh, here
is,
we go.
this is the group that's signed up for the Mac level 1 from home. And now let me go ahead and give me a second. This is all the stuff that they just changed on us and it's looking really different. That's the first one and that's the second one. This is the one from. This is online. No, sorry. The other one was online and this one's home. Oh, just Yolanda is on this is the in-person one. Some of you guys might find, let me share the screen so you guys can see both. Those of you who are at home are seeing only one. Okay, so these are the 2 rosters. Here's one more name on this one. There we go. So those are the 2 rosters that are Mac level 1. Yeah, there is class Wednesday. Yeah, we have class Wednesday and next Monday. But then the following Wednesday is the first day of Mac level 1. For some reason, the classes are because the Monday was Labor Day when we started, it switched to starting on Wednesday. So basically we have 6 meetings. Wednesday, Monday, Wednesday, Monday, Wednesday, Monday. And then Wednesday we start Mac level 1, Wednesday, Monday, Wednesday, Monday, Monday, Monday. And then on the following Wednesday, we'll start Mac level 2 and then iLife, so it's kind of. Yeah, go for it. So please sign up. If your name doesn't appear here, please go and sign up to Mac level 1. The CRN, you're welcome. The CRN is 455. Wait, you want to be in the in-person one. In-person is this one. So 45576. Oh, don't forget to log out. Those of you using the school computers, thank you. Go to the Apple icon and log out your name at the very bottom. You're welcome. Don't forget to put your name tags. Don't forget to sign in for sure, in case you forgot, and then to put your name tags and your green and red cards at the entrance. See you in 2 days. All
Thank
right,
you.
so
Thank you,
I
Deanna.
think you all found yourselves. I believe you all found yourselves.
Deanna, I'm the
Yes.
one who made a mistake, and I guess my name is on the class. So will you be sending, the email to everybody? for the
That's
link?
okay. As right now, I'm sending the emails to everybody, no
Good,
matter which
okay,
class you're in. So you're
perfect.
fine.
Yeah, thank you. See you.
See you Wednesday.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Bye, Yolanda.
Wednesday, could you help me with recents?
I'll work on recents and Mac level 1. Okay.
Oh, okay, great, thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.